Hey folks, we're with James of Newell Coach, and we're standing outside of a custom luxury motor coach. However, this one does not appear very luxurious. What is this?
This is actually one of the first coaches that was built by L.K. Newell in 1967.
1967, that's
Yes.
1 year before I even came into the industry. That's interesting.
Yeah. L.K. Newell purchased Streamline Travel Homes. He actually purchased the Motorhome portion of that company.
Now, I understand there's an interesting story about how he actually purchased that.
There is. L.K. was a pretty successful businessman in Miami, Oklahoma, and he had purchased several Streamline motorhomes in his lifetime, and he was taking delivery of a new one. He went out to the Streamline manufacturing plant to take delivery, and while he was out there, he had a few things to say about how they did things. And the quote from our website says that the owner of the company said, "Well, if you're so damn smart, why don't you just buy the company?" And within a few hours, a deal was struck, and he had purchased the company.
He owned the company.
Yes. Yeah.
So he could make any modification he wanted.
That's right. So
Okay.
what happened was he took what they had of the motorhome business and brought it back to Miami, and we believe this to be the first motorhome that was actually built in Miami, Oklahoma.
As a production coach.
As a production coach.
And what number do you think? This is serial number 4, I understand?
The serial plate on the side of the coach says 5, but we're a little sketchy on where it actually falls with all the pieces that he brought together to build it.
Right. Well, this is an outstanding piece of history right here. Can you take us through the inside of it? Let's go look at it.
Let's go walk around and take a look.
Let's do that. Well, James, this sure brings back a lot of memories for me. This coach was 1 year old when I started repairing RVs in the industry, so I'm really impressed with how well preserved this coach is. Everything is just about original, is that correct?
That is correct, and this is pretty much the way that we got the coach. We had to do some exterior skin work just to make some minor repairs that needed to be made, but we tried to keep it as intact as possible. And you're right, this coach is in exceptional condition. Our owner, Carl and Alice Blade, Alice decorated the coach for the show, and I think she did an exceptional job. Her and her daughter Becky
capturing
Dwyer.
the period. It's absolutely
they
perfect.
Did. And if you'll notice over there, we've got some literature that is original literature. We've been passing out at the show. That's been kind of a neat thing. I found a brochure in the archives, and we had it reprinted.
Oh, outstanding. I'll make sure I get one of those before I leave.
But as far as what's been done, the AC has been replaced, the refrigerator has been replaced, and at some point in history, the engine was replaced. Other than that, it's very intact.
Pretty much original. How in the world did you find it?
The story that I heard, we actually acquired this a little bit before I came to Newell. I've been here about 3.5 years, but one of our customers found the coach in Washington State, and it was on a car lot. And called us and said, "Hey, I think I may have found one of the original Newells."
Outstanding.
So we contacted the dealership and did some research, and sure enough, we found the coach and bought it in 2008 and brought it back. It was kind of a nice piece to have for our 40th anniversary, and now here we are coming into our 45th anniversary and brought it to the show for folks to look at.
Well, like I say, it brings back a lot of memories for me, and this was luxury back in 1967.
That's right.
Let's look at luxury for 2012, can we?
Sure.
Let's do that. Now, James, this is coach number 1447.
That's correct.
A far cry from the year of 1967.
We've come a little ways.
A little bit more than a little, I would say.
Yeah.
Tell me about the chassis on this. It's proprietary.
We build our own chassis system, and we integrate a suspension system from the ZF Corporation. There's a German corporation that engineers that for us, and it incorporates that rear steering system that gives us 45-foot coach, a 37-foot turning radius.
Now, I've got to repeat that for the viewers. A 45-foot motorhome making a turn in 37 feet.
That's correct.
Unbelievable.
And that's pretty exclusive to us. Now, something that we're coming out with the next model year, we're constantly improving, is an active suspension system that incorporates a computerized control system for the suspension.
That's remarkable. You guys continue to grow after even a 45-year relationship with FMCA.
That's right.
You're still increasing the technology.
We're always improving.
Pushing the envelope.
Even though we've had a little bit of economic downturn, we've continued to innovate throughout that.
That's incredible. I want to see the inside. Show me the inside. Wow. Welcome to the penthouse suite.
little more room than the inside of the 67.
I was going to have you explain some of the features in here, but we don't have enough days to do that. So give us some of the highlights.
Well, there's been quite a few innovations. Obviously, we've added slides, as most manufacturers have. We feature a 30-inch slide on both sides of the front here in this floor plan, with a 16-foot slide behind the driver and a 14-foot slide behind the passenger.
Wonderful. Look at this U-shaped dinette. That is absolutely gorgeous. You could seat 6 people there easily?
You can seat 4 there. You can squeeze in 6 if you wanted to, and
wow.
That's kind of a unique feature for us. We've been using it for quite some time. It works so well, but that collapses down to a 2-person dinette, and it allows a nice pass-through when all the slides are
My
in.
goodness. And just looking at the workmanship, look at these contours on the cabinetry.
We have some incredible craftsmen at the plant, and it's something, you know, we couldn't build these coaches without them, so my hat's off to them for sure. They do an incredible job.
Yeah, these aren't carpenters, folks. These are craftsperson. And there's a big difference. You can readily see it just in the quality of the workmanship.
This wood that you see is a real wood veneer. This is an African striped mahogany. It's a $44,000 option for the coach, and you can see it's just incredible.
And look at the size of the commercial refrigerator.
All residential appliances. This is a Sub-Zero unit. It's an all-electric coach. You know, we use the dish drawer, dishwasher, the Advantium microwave convection oven, an induction cooktop, and of course all of that is customizable. You know, there's no 2 Newells alike.
I'm looking at all the nice digital electronics. Tell me about the control panels.
Yeah, the technology has come a long way since the 67 we looked at. You can see most of our controls are touchscreen. All of these touch buttons that we have. Silverleaf does all of this integration for us, and that communicates with all the systems in the coach. Tankage, engine, chassis, house, everything. Spider Controls does the lighting and shade controls for us, and there's some other functions of the coach that also handles, but they're great systems from good companies, and they've been good to us for a long time.
Oh, it's fantastic. I just can't. I'm just overwhelmed, basically. I'm almost wordless, which is hard for me. But I really, really appreciate you showing this to us, James. Where can folks get more information regarding the Newell coach?
Best way for them would be to go to our website, and that's www.newellcoach.com.
Pretty easy to remember.
Pretty easy to remember.
There you go, folks. www.newellcoach.com.